more than blues. I write a lot of different other kind of songs that are not in the blues context, but the thing I try to get from the blues is to hopefully bring that honesty and integrity of the blues to any music that I play, regardless whether it's kind of a country kind of feel or some psychedelia or anything. Just hopefully bring that honesty and heart to it. That's the biggest thing I could say people can get from the blues, besides the fact that as a musical form, if it wasn't for the blues, there wouldn't be jazz, there wouldn't be rock and roll, and country kind of developed alongside it, but blues is a big part of country. Country and blues is very related, they're like this, and so that's it really, just the honesty and the integrity of the music. I would say that what I'm trying to do with my songs is bring a slightly different harmonic bed than the regular straight 1-4-5, which is always good, but bring a little twist and actually make these into songs. Then you can play over. One night you might play over it one way, one night it might play over another way. And also the thing I've learned from playing with great jazz musicians is, to keep it open and trust the moment. And if it goes a different place, that's good. To trust that. And you don't have to play the same song the same way every time. One night you could play it with a reggae feel, one night you could play shuffles, one night you could play it funky. So but as far as me and the pantheon of blues music, I'm just really glad that some people dig what I do, and I'd like to get out there and reach more people. But as far as me, as historically part of the big scheme of things, I'm just one of those little cogs in the wheel. There's some of my songs that I'll do something outside the kind of blues framework. I have this one tune, Slave to Love, and it goes from B minor down to G dominant 7th. Which gives you something different to play over. So, that's that kind of thing. That's just a little example. But as far as people sometimes ask me what kind of music I play, and I'm not trying to be flippant, but I say Ben Prevo music, because it's such a mishmash of stuff that I've listened to all over the years. Like I said, the classical stuff and funk and R&B and country and jazzy flavors. So I don't know how to play jazz properly, but kind of flavors and rock and roll and psychedelia, and then of course blues. The only things I don't really touch on is stuff like polkas and things like that, I suppose. But it's a real kind of American mishmash, just like the rest of the American territory. So, it's Ben Prevo music. And it depends on the gig. Sometimes you do a gig and not everyone will know your stuff. You get kind of these thrown together bands. So then the blues is a great common language, because especially with some of these cats around Dublin that are so good with charts and stuff, you can say, look, this is it goes like this, and play one bar, the one, and go straight to the 4. And so somebody might go to one of those gigs of mine and say, he's just a blues cat, but there's more to it than that. I have tapes of me playing in the late 70s and the early 80s, and I listen and I go, geez, that sounds good, but I don't play like that anymore, so I play different. Every moment is different. You gotta get in the moment. I used to use a pick, but I don't use a pick anymore, really. And I'll do stuff like, or snap and pull the strings like Albert Collins. And I use mainly these 3. Sometimes I'll just use my thumb. It's mainly just this. But so it's constantly evolving, and that's the fun thing about it. But it's nice to get the challenge of getting different sounds with just your hands and a minimal amount of gear, using your volume and tone knobs and being aware of that, and especially when you're playing with people, listening to them and reacting to them and backing them up and making them sound better. great interview with Steve Cropper once, and basically the gist of it is, if you can hear him playing rhythm, you're playing too loud. So the idea is like, to be kind and play with people. And music is all about healing and trying to heal yourself and heal other people and share your feelings. It's about spirit, Well, I'm spoiled for choice as far as guitars go, but if I only had to have one guitar, which most guitar players can't contemplate, but it would be a Telecaster style guitar like this. I put this together out of pieces. It's a salute to the fabled 1950 Esquire 0129. It's made out of pine. But to me, this is the most versatile electric guitar ever made. Purely functional and a beautiful thing. So to me, it's the most versatile guitar as a Telecaster. And also, everyone can have their own voice on it, You won't necessarily just sound like somebody else playing cello. Hopefully you bring your own voice to anything you play, but then it's just a tool. But this is a 57 Fender Champ, which I've had for years and years and years, and I've gigged a lot with it, believe it or not. If you stick a mic in front of it, then you have a monitor, and you're playing with a reasonable drummer, it can work fine. I've used a lot for recording and stuff as well, and it's just one knob goes to 12, and it works.